Opponents of Zohran Mamdani have warned for months that his democratic socialist agenda could drive businesses out of New York City. As for where those businesses might relocate, my next guest has a suggestion. The mayor-elect of Pittsburgh joins me now. Democrat Corey O'Connor was elected last month with almost 90% of the vote, and he joins me now in part to make a pitch to New Yorkers. So welcome to the show. And I guess I wanted to ask you first whether you're going to get in trouble for this, because New York mayors, when they leave town, tend to catch a lot of grief from voters.
I haven't started yet, so I still have a little bit of time. But no, I think, we ran on a platform of growth and opportunity. And I think there's so many people that have connections to Pittsburgh that are in New York who we want to talk about. And you already have a lot of people that have done some key developments in our city. And I think for every mayor, we should be going out courting businesses, companies, especially cities like ours in Pittsburgh where we have to grow because it's only going to help our own residents.
Let me ask you just a little bit about Pittsburgh's politics. You won almost 90% of the vote in the general election. I know there was also a primary that was a lot more closely contested. But how does Pittsburgh compare to New York? Obviously the population is smaller, but in terms of political leanings and the demographics and that sort of thing.
Yeah, we're a blue city, but we also are within sort of a purplish county, as well as our state is very purple right now. And I think, in order for us as Ds to win back the White House, we have to start, showing people, especially in the second largest city in Pennsylvania, that we can block and tackle and get things done and start performing. And I think that's a message that will really resonate with Western PA. So when you talk politics, we can take our Pittsburgh message about growth, opportunity, family-first approach in our cities and take it out a little bit further so that we can be successful in future elections.
So, it's a little different from the themes we saw in our mayoral race, which I don't know if you heard, but we just had quite a mayor's race ourselves.
Yes, you did.
Which became a national and international story, of course. Talk a little bit about the view from Pittsburgh. Were you watching the mayor's race here in New York?
Yeah, we do. Obviously we were out door knocking a lot, but you can see, the politics are everywhere. But I think, what we come to New York for is to also learn from different leaders. And, I hope to sit down with the mayor at some point and talk to him about, his vision and how it works in a city like New York and things that we can bring even from a Pittsburgh standpoint that we do locally that could transition. And I think that's where we should all be. As mayors, whether you're Pittsburgh, New York, or somewhere out in California, we're all in this together because we want to make a better life for our constituents. Oh, sorry.
Mamdani is a unique politician, right? He's young. You're young as well, but he's got, I think he's got like 7 years on you in terms of...
Yeah, 41. Yeah. 41. I did get carded the other day going into a movie, but it's okay. I can handle it.
So he's 34.
Yes.
One of the youngest mayors ever in New York City. He's the first Muslim mayor, first mayor with South Asian descent, and he's a democratic socialist. But he really ran on this affordability agenda. That was almost the defining characteristic of his campaign. What is it like in Pittsburgh? What were the big issues animating the mayor's race? Was cost of living a big one?
Cost of living is, obviously, comparative, we're obviously a lot more inexpensive than most cities, especially in New York. But Pittsburgh numbers, we still talk about affordable housing, but we also have to start talking about more working class housing and providing opportunities in Pittsburgh. And I just think there were so many great topics that we were discussing about growth and opportunities and bringing families together. And ours is a real neighborhood approach. But it coordinates even with our downtown businesses who haven't seen a mayor that's reaching out to them. Yesterday, I called a company that just located in our, what we call our Strip District neighborhood, and they were just thankful that an elected official reached out to us. And I think our goal coming into this office is to call companies that are local, whether it's the pizza shop or the startup or the corporation, to say, hey, how can we help you succeed in Pittsburgh? But then also call 10 national companies a week and say, hey, have you thought about Pittsburgh? If you think about it, we're an hour flight to every East Coast city, an hour and a half to Chicago. So we are actually centrally located to tell a good story, to get people to start investing and looking at Pittsburgh differently.
And I suspect you'll be calling businesses here in New York, right?
We'll be calling them all over, yes.
You talk about a different kind of politics. Do you look at somebody like Mamdani, obviously Democratic Socialist, who has some, big ideas, free buses and a rent freeze on the rent stabilized apartments here in New York City. universal child care. I mean, do you see his politics as too far left for the Democratic Party and where we are in this country?
Well, again, I think each electorate is different. You know, as I said, we're in a different state than he is. And, you know, he had a message and a vision for his voters. And we have something that's slightly different in Pittsburgh. But we did do an affordable housing trust fund when I was on city council. We fought for common sense gun control. We actually started a capital program for early childhood education. And I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and I know how that impacts each and every family. So we're also starting to talk to corporations about possibly using their tax credits so that we can expand our early childhood programs in Pittsburgh. And the people that we're attracting for jobs in government, the number one question, they say, well, where can we live? And we have young kids, is there childcare available? So it's a lot of issues, just we do it a little bit differently.
What is the Donald Trump factor in Pittsburgh, or has he not really set his sights on Pittsburgh? Obviously here, he's taken a shine to Zohran Mamdani of late, but there's also been threats of cutting federal funding and sending federal troops here to New York.
Yeah, I mean, for us, we're not going to have partnerships with ICE or organizations like that. But we really have to work with, you know, some of our senators to get funding back to the city. But we know that, you know, for us, it's a local issue, and we just have to make sure that everybody is welcome in Pittsburgh. Last year alone, immigrants started 40 businesses in Pittsburgh. That's the Pittsburgh story that we are out here telling each and every day. So we want to welcome you. I want people to come to Pittsburgh, feel safe, know that we are not going to partner with those types of organizations, but also know that immigrants are welcome. You know, we have space for people to thrive and build their American dream in our city.
And talk a little bit about your governor. Josh Shapiro is, rumored to be interested in the White House and a 2028 candidate, and also, is sort of a centrist Democrat, I think, espousing a lot of the kinds of ideas that you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, Josh has been great through this transition, and obviously being elected, we've worked together on a number of issues, but he knows that Pittsburgh needed help, and he brought forth a $600 million plan for downtown, and he's focused on getting stuff done. And I think that's a message that we have to do, especially in Western PA. We have to get stuff done. And his message of, speeding up permitting, calling companies, bringing them to Pennsylvania is something that we all have to embrace. And it's a great partnership to have, that the governor of your state cares about your city and wants it to do well.
So how's New York treating you? Everybody been friendly enough?
It's been great. We're having a good time. My wife and I have been traveling around, seeing everybody, and we're here for a couple of events.
Riding the subway, right?
I rode the subway. It was great.
Yeah.
I mean, public transit, especially subways, are so much fun. And I think, coming from Pittsburgh, we always like to talk to people. And it's just, sit next to somebody, hey, where do you live? I'm from Pittsburgh. And it was funny, actually, a couple of your staffers outside, one of them just told me that his brother flew to Pittsburgh for just a random weekend.
Yeah.
And he said he loved it. And I think those are the things that we have to talk about, especially as the leader of the city. This is what we're here to do.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in and spending some time with us.
Yeah.
Good luck to you. I don't want to wish you luck in poaching too many New York businesses, but good to spend some time with you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the time.
All right.